Hey, welcome everybody to another session of J&J Dissects The Walking Dead. Um, no intro there with Ross Marquand. Unfortunately, we had a little catastrophic event with our previous computer, so I'm still working on getting all that data transferred on over. It's there, it's saved. It's just I just have to get the right cables and everything, and amount of time too to actually do it. We're just coming back from a little trip, myself and Kelsey, from the frozen tundra that is upstate New York to the
AKA Alaska.
hometown of James up there and no man's land of
Uh,
Canada. What was it?
Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia.
Jesus.
But it is it's a joy not being up there for the entire winter. I tell you what, actually, we got snow down here in Alabama too, but it definitely is warmer. But we had a lot to talk about as we had two shows that we missed. One last week, like I just mentioned, we were out of town, so we weren't able to actually do that one. But we do have the mid-season finale in the previous episode to dissect here, and there's a lot to discuss. But before we do that, per the usual, this channel is charity oriented, and because of that, we have actually reached our first goal of $1,000 towards American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. So thank you very much to all of our fans out there, the ones who donated, and just the ones who watch us, who like, subscribe, follow us on everything, and motivate us to really just keep going on. There's been plenty of times where I thought about quitting. Just just sometimes this stuff just takes up a lot of time, and without, I guess, goals being met, it's tough to stay positive about it. But this is a reaffirmation of why I chose to do this, why James has given up his time to do this, and why everyone else here at Echo 5 Studios has given up their time to have fun with each other, have fun with you, and hopefully bring some smiles to people who really need the help that they hopefully can get from the charities that we provide. So we'll have our level 2 charity coming soon. It's just a little tough for the holidays, and like I just mentioned, the computer being down, that's going to take up some of my time getting that spun up. Luckily, I just bought this to put this together over Thanksgiving break. Crazy series of events there that we lucked out and actually had that ready to go. But we'll get that together. Everything right now is be kind of on the fly here for the next week or so. I think we'll be doing some more shows here coming up during the Christmas break, and in between the mid seasons here of The Walking Dead, and we might actually be adjusting the schedule a little bit too, as James's baby has so gracefully chosen to go to sleep a little bit earlier now, and we might be able to get the show out there to you guys a little bit earlier as well. So we're shooting for possibly 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll give that a shot and see how that works out.
Yep.
But we'll keep you guys posted once that official schedule goes live on our social media outlets. So if you guys don't already follow us, head on over to Twitter, follow us there. Facebook, follow us there. Twitch, you can follow us there if you're watching us live right now. Instagram, we'll have some photos up there. I think Kat's doing a good job keeping that up to date. YouTube, we don't really post too many updates there, but if you comment on the videos, we'll definitely be there to comment on that. And head over to echo5studios.com as well. I'm a little bit behind. The computer going down has definitely put a little dent in my plans for scheduling. But I think I had most videos already uploaded. But challenges happen. We overcome it. And we'll keep pressing forward. Other than that, James, what's going on, man?
Oh man, nothing much. I just again want to reiterate how proud I am of Jay sticking it through. Like Jay said, we are doing this 100% charity. Being able to bring you guys T.W. Brown a couple of weeks ago was a treat for not only us but for a lot of the fans. We got a lot of I got a lot of positive feedback, from people who have followed us and in our quest to dissect The Walking Dead, and then also Fear the Walking Dead and the Telltale game, the Walker Stalker convention, How to Survive a Walker Stalker convention, the top 5 list. So we gotta, even though a lot of people will say, oh yeah, how many people do you have view? It's the people that are constantly watching. I want to thank you, but just again, we made our goal, and Jay just reiterate his point. It gets tiring. We do work full time. We do have lives. So to do this basically, for charity, we have to reach inside to keep pushing forward sometimes. And it's good to hear Jay say that, because we are human, and it does take the little bit of extra time that we have, that we could be, getting some sleep or spending with our families, just to bring you this product to do something good for charity. And like I said, to get TW Brown on here, to bring you episode after episode, dissecting The Walking Dead, to give you our perspective on it, is a treat for us. So we hope you enjoy it and continue to watch. So thank you to all the dedicated fans, and then all the new fans that came over from watching dissection of TW Brown. Got a lot of special things coming up, including TW Brown Part 2. So he will be joining us in sometime in January. I got the confirmation. Going to be doing a TW Brown's top 5 zombie movies. Jay and I gave you our top 5. So now let's hear from a legend, an author who's been in this genre for a long time, and actually has more history of being a zombie fan than myself. So that's gonna be a treat to hear his top 5 list. But it's so great for him to want to come back and join us. We got a lot of special things coming up. Got a lot of suggestions from viewers. Couple of things we're gonna do. Put Jay on the spot. We're gonna do a Jossa moment of the week, which is Jay's Oceanside moment, where Jay's gonna give you his Jossa moment of the week, because it just seems every single week is filled with a Jossa moment these days. So if there's no Jossa moment, Jay will say there was no Jossa moment of the week, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Give you the rants and spiels by me in case there's something to rant about or spiel, or a special, shout out. Come up with some great shows. Jay and I are going to put our heads together and see what we can come up with on top of the TW Brown Part 2. And of course, we're going to dissect The Walking Dead. So thank you for joining us. And I'll let Jay take it from here on what's coming up this show. Jay.
As far as our show?
Yes, sir.
In the future, or you just want to jump right into the episodes?
Anything you got to say for the future? We got a lot. I mean, we got a lot to cover today. We got these 2 shows.
Yeah.
Jay has a special envelope that he gets to open up.
It was a virtual envelope. I did make a note of it.
Okay.
And if there was a drum roll, the winner would be, as I presented the envelope, I'll go to James with his prediction of Carl biting the dust, or in this case, being bit.
Yeah.
I was shocked, but we'll definitely get more into that in the 5th episode. But James called it. That's a different one. They definitely threw us a curveball there for the comic book readers.
Yeah, they definitely did. And a lot of people say, they probably revealed this on spoiler sites. I stay away from the spoiler sites. I have seen them before. But Jay and I talked about this after the 1st episode, and even before the 1st episode. We texted back and forth. And I said, I don't like the way some of this stuff looks. They're showing us deleted scenes where Rick is really telling Carl he loves him. They specifically put that there. They had a lot of hints. Another one bites the dust. You didn't see Carl's face throughout Rick's dream sequence. Rick came back. We're going to get all into that and what made me pick Carl. And then another tidbit for the people who do look at spoiler sites. The spoiler site didn't spoil this one. So that was another big thing. Chandler Riggs himself reached out to the biggest spoiler site and asked them not to spoil his death. And they respected his wish, and they didn't do it. So that made me feel even better about my prediction, because it came from just, like I always tell people, there are hints in what they're going to do in the show. And if you really look at the show, if you're getting bored with it, you can really look past, everything they're showing you. If you just take everything that you've seen before and common logic, you can kind of figure out the direction of the writers. So this one was a good one. Did have a couple of other guesses on what was going to happen in the mid-season finale, and I gotta give a lot of shout outs to two of our friends, Tim and Stan, who made predictions. Stan predicted that Judith would die, and Tim had a really good prediction that Michonne would take Laurie's comic book death, as she would be shot in the back and fall on top of Judith and kill her. That was a unique one. So those two predictions, were off, but they were very possible, especially with the season finale and what it was. But let's get into the show. So 8/7, Time for After. This Time for After showed us that these characters haven't learned anything. They just haven't done anything. They haven't learned anything. Jay, I was, it was an old school moment where Jay, his wife Kelsey, came to Albany, the frozen tundra, and they spent time with my wife and myself, like the good old days, and we watched this episode because Jay wasn't able to see it, so we watched it on Monday, and just these characters haven't learned anything, and it goes back to episode 6 when they're all scattering the different directions, and the one person that hasn't learned anything on top of everybody would be Daryl. His actions literally got Glenn killed. It's arguable maybe Negan would have, provoked somebody else to get Glenn killed, but his actions were detriment to getting Glenn killed, and now he's going rogue again.
Yeah. And just the previous episode there with him and Rick were fighting, and they caused the entire weapons to blow up. What the hell? Don't be dumb.
And it's when you watch these things and you see how these characters are just being blinded by rage, this gives the advantage to the opposition because you can't see clearly. That's why I love Lenny James's episode Clear, is he wasn't thinking clearly, and he kept trying to clear things to get that mindset. And then when he met up with Eason, and Eason cleared his mind, he finally saw from a clear perspective. But it's almost like Daryl has these blinders, and now his blinders have attacked Terror for some reason. So both of them are just being irrational here, and Jesus Christ. What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just stick with the damn plan,
Like, it all started, like, I think we talked about this, beforehand with Michonne, and Terry, just like, why would you go do that? Yeah.
And it's just, when I watched this episode, and, a couple of things stood out to me. This was the episode that Eugene had confronted Dwight and said, hey, I know you're a traitor. And a big shout out to Josh McDermott. Incredible actor. He really has to have a very high IQ to play this character of Eugene, to get these lines, to get these, these one-liners that he has, to have this broadened vocabulary, to have a broken vocabulary that he just puts together and it makes complete sense if you listen to it. It sounds like gibberish, but it's not. So, when this is a Eugene special episode, he's in charge of getting rid of the walkers. He comes out with this great, plan. He goes and finds Sasha's, iPod, and, he's just a great creative character. We don't know which side he lies on at this point. And there was a little, deception here. A lot of people don't realize, even though they did reveal that Dwight was the traitor, a lot of people did look, and he had a tape recorder, and, Eugene was recording Dwight at the end of the episode, if you didn't notice it. So a lot of great giveaways and craftiness by Eugene. But then you go back to, Rick's group. What are they doing? Even Michonne and Rosita. This is how bad it was. Rosita and Michonne, who are bent on revenge themselves, one got shot, the other one got pummeled. they even said, "Wait a second, man, we can't do this shit." Like, come on. So, then we had Jay's favorite moment of the show where they got to the junkyard, and this was the Jocelyn moment of the week, and we're gonna let Jay take you away with how he felt when Rick was once again pitted against another monster. So, Jay,
it was dumb. You know, I don't know why they keep insisting on bringing these fuckers back. It's just a waste of screen time. You know, it's just the same shit over and over again. It's annoying. And the same thing. Oh, let's put a walker with a metal thing on his head. When he can't see, make a fucking eye hole for him, guys. Jesus. You know? So this time they put him on a friggin' pole where they can push him towards him, and Rick somehow takes out both these people. And then it's like, wait, weren't you just about to kill him? And now at the end, they're like, you know what, we're not going to kill you, we're going to join you. All of a sudden. I mean, shit.
They could have shot Rick. He didn't have a gun to Jadis's head. They could have just shot him.
Right? Yeah. I mean, Jadis wanted to kill him. She tried shooting him 3 times. It isn't like she was like, oh, now you've earned my respect. No, she's like, I'm going to kill you now. Whoops, you took me down, and there's a zombie head, a foot away from me. I can shoot him.
For everybody watching, let me tell you something. I got the treat of knowing that this Jocelyn moment was coming because I seen the episode on Sunday and Jay was traveling. So as soon as it started, I looked right over at him and you can see his face. He's usually stoic, but whenever this shit happens, his face just turns and it's just like I'm watching him. First thing he says is, "I can't see anything." Oh man, just having too much fun already. But yeah. So again, I had a good time with the episode, but things like this kind of bring it down. And a lot of people have been complaining that they have these moments of just complete and utter nonsense in each episode, and more and more people are pointing them out. This was a definite moment of just nonsense. It made absolutely no sense to do this again. The one thing I did, like I said, the one thing I liked about the episode was the fact that it was a Eugene-centric episode, and we got to see his character so much, his creativity. We got to see the relationship with Dwight, and then at the end of the episode, he came up with this plan. We don't know what it is, but he came up with this, ingenious plan when Daryl let the walkers into the sanctuary to use up bullets. What kind of ruined it again? It was almost like Eugene just came up with a flying speaker system, and his best plan that blew everybody's socks off was, let's just use all our ammunition to shoot the zombies. That's fucking stupid. Anybody could have came up with that. I think the show owed it to Eugene to come up with a more creative plan to get rid of the walkers at that point. So it was almost like they dropped the ball. The one time they dropped the ball was in the junkyard. The second time, in my opinion, they dropped the ball was Eugene not saying, hey, look, guys, maybe we can build this and it will take out the walkers, and it just,
or some
kind of felt like a
way to funnel them, or, some sort of intelligence, and then, or, hint at it. So when Dwight gets X later on, how they get out, just, not just Eugene, but, Eugene did this.
Exactly. And it was kind of like a letdown, and then, obviously Negan saying, can you make me bullets? And of course, Eugene coming back and saying, yeah, I can do that. But where's the build up to that? So I think that this episode, as I've liked a lot of the other episodes in this season, I like that it was a Eugene kind of filler episode, bottle episode. But then they add in that element of just stupidity with Rick in the junkyard again, against another monster that can't see again. And he could have been killed again. But of course, the Garbage Pail Kids don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know how to use guns all of a sudden again. So it's like, how many times are we going to go back to this? So, all in all, this wasn't one of my favorite episodes. Eugene saved it for me. But I think Jay is right. You just have that moment of just nonsense that they can't keep putting in these episodes, man. It's falling back into season 7 when they do that.
I did like the Dwight Eugene section.
I loved it. I loved
I
it.
think
They
that
have
was that was a good
great
part.
chemistry.
Uh,
Great chemistry.
Father Gabriel, we're still trying to figure out what the hell's going on with him.
Yeah.
Um,
So
yeah.
we that was one of our questions. What happened to Father Gabriel? Negan said in episode 6, when you put the muck on you, you can get yourself sick.
Yeah.
And then Father Gabriel got himself sick by putting the muck on him, but it's almost like he did it on purpose to get to Dr. Carson in order to get Dr. Carson out to get him back to the hilltop to Maggie. So I think maybe Gabriel may have either ingested or rubbed the muck on a cut to get himself sick, because he didn't get sick before when he did it. Now all of a sudden he's sick. It was almost like a ploy. If you look deeper, it seemed like it might have been a ploy. So
That's one hell of a gamble.
yeah, that is a hell of a gamble. But I think that was his only way of getting Carson and locating the doctor and devising a plan to get him out. And obviously, we don't know if that was going to work into episode 8. So, Jay, do you have anything about this episode that you liked, disliked, other than what we talked about before we move on? Because I know that Jocelyn moment just tore you up.
That was pretty bad. And just Rick's group being dumbasses. It's just, come on, it's painful sometimes. But no, man, this wasn't a highlight. Usually I look forward to like the one before the season finale or the mid-season finale.
Yeah.
It's like sets it up. This one's just like,
yeah, this didn't set it
what? So.
Oh man.
Let's get into the big guy, huh?
Oh yeah, definitely. So.
Oh, if you guys haven't watched the episode, you guys should be watching this. Just turn this off and go watch the episode and turn this back on later.
I honestly have to tell you, spoiler alert, because the biggest spoiler of the year, where even the spoiler sites didn't spoil it. Biggest spoiler of the year is coming up in just a few moments. But when you have a pendulum episode, we always talk about this for 2 years, 2 years now. You want your 7th episode to be very good and finish off into a great finale. If the 7th episode was very good and finished off into this finale, it would have been one of the best 1-2 punches of the series. I loved episode 8. I think that they build it up since episode 6. I think Jay and Kelsey, you guys watched it. Vanessa and I saw it too. And Vanessa made a point that there's no way Carl went unscathed from episode 6 when he was helping out Sadiq like a moron, in his own way. I mean, all you have to do in that instance is just bring Sadiq back to Alexandria. Why do you have to release the spirits of the Walking Dead? Why must you do this? To appease Sadiq's mother. That turned out to be a very bad decision for Carl. Because it was expected that something bad happened to him in episode 6. So episode 8 started off with Carl. He looked run down. He's writing letters. One was to his dad. He's looking at a note that he got in season 6 from Enid saying, just survive somehow. So you knew something wasn't right. You knew by the preview something wasn't right. Mm-hmm. This was the episode where shit hit the fan and all the bad and stupid decisions caught up with Alexandria, the hilltop, and the kingdom. And the Saviors got their roundhouse punch right back, got him back into this fight big time. A lot of callback moments here. All the generals got to go to their specific destinations. Negan to Alexandria, Gavin to the kingdom, and Simon to the hilltop. They used the season 6 tactic. They broke down the tree. I mean, if you've seen the episode, you saw what happened. Best moment of the whole episode was just the darkness of the episode. The whole episode was dark. And I love it because, again, it's a horror show. And that setting was just brilliant. Story being told was brilliant. The shocker at the end was good, but I think it could have been. I think Carl deserved better. Chandler Riggs deserved a little bit better of a death, or setup to a death.
Yeah.
But we know Maggie is going to, Maggie is going to fight back. We know Daryl found out that it wasn't his fault. Supposedly, it was Eugene's fault. You see that Dwight is his cover's blown by Laura, the Savior. She's going to run back to the sanctuary and tell him. You see Gavin and them. They capture King Ezekiel, but we don't know what was going to happen there. We have Morgan and Carol outside the fence. Whenever you have a Carol on your team, you have a chance. Whenever you have Morgan on your side, you have a chance. So that's not the end of Ezekiel. That Maggie's plotting to fight back. And then obviously all of Alexandria and the sewer systems, and they're fighting back. But what a way to go out for Chandler Riggs. He was the MVP of the show from start to finish. That's actually a callback to the season 6 mid-season finale. But from start to finish, Chandler Riggs, was the MVP of the show. He got a 90-minute exclusive, and he, for his swan song 1A, because he's going to be back in episode 9, he showed how much he grew as an actor. Just a brilliant episode by him. Almost like you had the sense that he wasn't going to make it. The things that he was saying, his body language, how he was stumbling around. You knew it was the end. You just didn't know why. You didn't know what was going to happen to him.
Yeah.
And then, the huge reveal at the end, that he got bit, and the bite is from episode 6. The biggest shocker of The Walking Dead ever, in my opinion. This is the biggest shocker of all time. Because Carl is such a big piece of the comic books. For them to be that bold to set up his death, because he's not technically dead yet, is almost like I can't call it a jump the shark moment, but I can say it's a very gutsy move. Kill this kid.
I don't know. It's gonna go one of two ways, and I'm not that impressed with it. With the comic books, they're pretty much setting out to be the John Connor from the Terminator series. He's gonna learn from the bad, the good. His father's grooming him, not the other way around.
Correct.
And we get to see Carl for a split second being a leader, and it's all for naught because they decide that a random walker in the woods, not even saving a person, but to kill walkers gets them.
Stupid.
It feels like the Tyrese bite. It's like, really, there might be some greater meaning, but really that's how you set this off. That's the catalyst. Some bite on the hip from some random walker in the woods. There's so much more, and it just sucks because the same trope as The Walking Dead gets into. You're trying to do the right thing. You're gonna die. I get it. For fuck's sake, guys. Think of something else. You can be, good and change people without having a good message and then having to be a martyr for it. This irritates me. And the message is, for his dad to treat people as, humans and to not kill all of Negan's men. And if you read the comics, you can understand where this is going.
Yep.
But, I mean, come on, there's other ways to do it. You can build sympathy towards humans without killing somebody, trying to deliver a good message. That was, I don't know. I don't really like it. I'm just not, when you lose like a big character like that,
you expect something huge.
Yeah, like there has to be some sort of message there, and the message just seems so lackluster. And I think the episode itself seemed lackluster. I expected more. I expected more deaths. When they're throwing grenades over the wall, the houses are blowing up. Great. I want to see body parts of Alexandrians being tossed. I want to see like a 50 cal moment.
Yep.
To them, maybe not to that magnitude, but at least 5 or 6. They couldn't get them all out. Some people died. Maggie's crew, they had him pinned, and they had Maggie right there. Why did they let Maggie go?
Correct.
Negan said he wanted Ezekiel, Maggie, and the widow, Maggie, and Rick. Why would they let her go? That doesn't make any sense to me.
There's 2 Johnson moments.
You can't. I mean, she's the one who disobeyed them at the fence line, right there at the sanctuary. You can't. So now she's gonna listen? No. No, she's a hard ass. You pull her out. You bring her to Negan with Ezekiel and Rick. That was the plan. I don't understand that. Um,
What about the Jassa moment? Literally.
which one? It was just like I said. I wasn't that impressed. I mean, I'm impressed with Chandler Riggs' performance. I think he put together a good, audition tape for his future, endeavors. But yeah, it's funny. Kelsey just mentioned that when we were talking, it's like the guy in the bike behind Maggie said like a line. I was like, well, he's fucked.
Yeah,
He's dead.
you knew it.
He said a
Because you
line.
never seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Neil is dead.
Who's this random guy who just said a line? Oh, great, he's gonna get shot.
Yeah.
And once again, she mentions it's 90% Daryl's fault. Yeah. Again, what a turd.
Again. Yeah, and you know what? Like I said, I love the episode only because of all the elements that came with it. But I agree with Jay. I think a lot of it has to do with the backside. I think it has to do with a lot of things with the actor himself. A lot of things with him being an 18-year-old kid, him trying, him having decisions to make about college, having decisions to make about his own life. He's a musician.
There was, his dad did post on Facebook
that he doesn't like Gimple. Yeah.
This wasn't the Chandler's call. This wasn't the famous call. This was Gimple.
It wasn't.
Shut him off. That was
Yeah, and it was almost like I heard rumors that, and I actually seen it, that he was at a convention and they said, "What do you expect from your character this year?" And he said, "Probably holding Judith again." And they panned into Scott Gimple's face, and you could see he was perturbed by it. When you have a young character that's grown up with the show, you kind of have to expect him to grow up in life too, not just the show. And you kind of have to treat him as important as a part of the show as he's in the comic book, because the show is based upon a comic book. You can't, just because he has school and stuff, it doesn't matter. You still make Rosita relevant. I mean, she had a baby.
Tara.
You can, Tara, Morgan wasn't, he had different projects going on, but you still made him an impactful character. So I think that they owe Chandler a little bit better. And Chandler said he found out last year, before they started filming, this year, before they started filming, that it was over for him. After he was told he would get at least 3 more seasons with the show, presumably to the end, which is kind of scary because that means season 11 may be it.
And he just bought a friggin' house too. It reminds me of whatchamacallit, Beth Green.
Emily Keeney.
Yeah.
Same thing, same exact thing. And she was a musician too, so it was like she wanted to do projects on the side, just like Chandler Riggs did, and it just didn't. It rubbed these producers the wrong way. I think they owed him better, and you could tell by the death itself. Yeah, it was shocking. I love that it was shocking. But my thing is, you're gonna kill Chandler Riggs, and you're gonna hint that he's gonna die throughout the year. Why don't you have him go out in a blaze of glory? He may still go out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah.
Why don't you have him taking out a lot of Negan's men, surviving, getting blown up, maybe he's crawling and he shoots a guy before the guy kills Rick, or he saves Rick. And then on his death throes, he reveals, Dad, I was going to die anyways. Go out a freaking hero, guns blazing, because that's the character he was in the comic book. But instead, they gave him a lackluster death. I love the surprise and the shock with it. It's a gutsy move, but like Jay said, it can be twofold. Emily Keeney's death kind of rubbed people the wrong way. So it's almost like, again, you're trying to pull in these fans from a bad, season 6 finale cliffhanger, a bad season 7. You better be on point with this. I personally liked it, but I think I said it before. I think Chandler Riggs deserved a better death. He's the biggest character to this point to die. You got to kill him off in a huge way. Maybe have him sacrifice himself for Judith and get torn apart by walkers, or, give him something substantial. And we don't know if he's going to have something substantial We don't know if this is a 2-part death. We don't know if they're just going to pan into him dying in episode 9. We don't know. But I agree with Jay. Man, look at that. Why didn't the Saviors kill Maggie? Why didn't the Saviors just kill Ezekiel? They're going to kill him anyways.
Or capture him. I mean, at least they capture Ezekiel. They're like, hey, we need him. All right.
Yeah.
I liked how they handled that, the kingdom. Because it plays the guy's role, too. It's like, listen, he never even went to the kingdom. When he did all the trades on the road, you could see, like, he didn't want any trouble. He didn't want to shoot that kid. And he's being compassionate, but at the same time, it's like, now he's just probably getting irritated. He's like, well, fuck, I don't want to die. Negan's pissed off. Damn it, bring me Ezekiel out here. Maggie's team, I have no idea. I expected him to. He did kill up the one guy, but I wanted them to bring out, like, all right, pick one out here, like right now, not back there.
I thought they were going to kill Jerry. I thought they were going to kill him.
Yeah, like, give me somebody else, from your team. You need to pick. And then take her with them. That was I can't believe they didn't take her with them. And we're missing a little bleep here in the episode with Enid and Aaron.
Yeah, I said the Jossa moment.
Oh my God, what the? Who the hell wrote that scene? I mean,
well, that was the biggest Jossa moment of
the hell. What was camp out here at night? Oh, there's a shadowy figure. Let's approach them from behind. Whoops! I got taken out by a 50-year-old lady who's gonna stab me in the face with a stick, and then all of a sudden she shoots her. Great. Fucking great, guys. Great plan that was. What the hell?
Yeah. That was thrown in. That's one of those moments that you don't need to throw in there.
I don't even understand what the hell that we're trying to do. I mean, if you want them to come and talk to you, maybe just leave a message saying, meet us here tomorrow or something. That made no sense. Sense.
I agree. And that was a moment that they should not have put in the mid-season finale. Maybe that's gearing up for something more, but I really think if you're going to have an Oceanside, if you're going to have them come back, it has to involve Tara. It doesn't make sense now for it to involve Enid and,
right. Why would they send them?
Why would you send, Aaron and Enid when it was Tara's story? Why not have, Tara go and say, hey, look, guys, we're not going to be able to fight them without help. I need to go back to Oceanside. She was in the sewer. She could have said that. We can go and we can hide out in Oceanside until we get our ducks in a row. Then we can bring Oceanside to the hilltop. That would have made a better story as well. Or some sort of, connection between Tara and Oceanside. Instead, they throw Enid out there and Aaron. And it's like they had a feel-good moment driving, and then they go to the distillery. They're going to bring them back alcohol or whatever. And it's like, what?
I don't know.
So, the more and more I talk about it, the more things I find it bad about the episode, and I liked it. But
yeah, it was an okay episode, but it wasn't like it would never come up in like the top of mid-season finales.
Oh no,
no way. It was below the bar. That's for sure.
It was. I still think, in my opinion, if you're looking at a 2-part, the best mid-season finale is still season 4. When the governor, the governor comes and you had that all-out fight, and he kills Herschel, and the prison is decimated, and it's the end of the governor's arc. That was the greatest mid-season finale ever. And every season has, tried to replicate it, but hasn't really done its part. Season 6, the closest. Season 7, absolutely not. This season had a chance. Like I said, if they would have gave Carl a little bit more of a better death there, take away some of those Jocelyn moments, I think that you have a more complete episode. I liked it, but you do see the flaws when we're dissecting it. This is live, so I'm looking back now and looking at the things I don't like. Like I said, my feelings at it at first was this is a great episode, not the best mid-season finale. But when you look at it and see the stupidity, again, they're adding these stupid little Jossa moments that they shouldn't add. Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And even
it was okay, but then they just dropped the ball. You know, and just
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And even in the white part, like you have to know that he's up to no good when they're saying, you know, these cars aren't going to hold it if they have these big dump trucks. They're going to drive right through them. And Dwight saying, "Ah, no, they won't." Ah, yeah, yeah. Of course, come on. You should,
I just wanna take a little closer look.
yeah,
There's a smoke grenade out there in the middle of the road. I
yeah,
just wanna see what's going on up here. What
exactly.
do you think that smoke grenade? I mean, come on, people.
Yeah, it gets painful after a while
Yeah,
when you start to notice these things, but it gets even more painful when the normal fan will notice it and then will bring it to your attention, and it kind of is like, yeah, you're right. you know, like,
and it's just constant. But there is one question
Mhm,
about Maggie with the coffin. She
mhm.
put the shot savior inside of it, and she wrote a message on there. Who was that message for?
That message is for Simon when he comes back for the first offering.
Hmm.
Um, so when he comes back, she said put it where he could see it. So they're going to be ready. They're going to devise a plan, and I think that's when Rick and the group are also going to come there. Um, so Simon will come and see that, and she'll say, "Hey, I got 38 of your guys. You let me know what you want to do. We're not going to lie down for you." But again, this goes back to what you said. Why didn't Simon just take her? You know, why did they choose the hilltop? You know, as the okay, we're going to let you guys slide, where we're going to make an example out of Rick and Ezekiel. Maggie is the one who you should make an example out of. You killed her husband. She's the one that needs the revenge the most.
Hmm.
You know, um, so you know Maggie in this instance is being really rebellious and saying fuck you guys. Like, um, but again, it could have been prevented. I'm just looking at the numbers and you know all time lows 8.69 for episode 4, which was the best episode of the season to me. 7.85 for 5, 8.28 for 6, 7.47 million for episode 7. The pendulum episodes usually are higher. We don't know how much 8 is. Supposedly it's going to be really high because of the way they build it up. But if it comes in at something like 9 million, 8, 9 million, you got to wonder how much of a hit this show took from that cliffhanger, because these numbers are just atrocious compared to what they've been in the past, man. It's horrible. It's unbelievable. Um, but when you start to watch the show and listen to us dissect it, you kind of can understand why they're getting lower and lower and lower. The hell?
I don't know. And we end with the reveal of Carl being bit, and this after we go back to the first episode this season, and wonder what is this future Rick then?
Yeah.
Why do they do that to try to trick the viewers? Because there's really two flash forwards. There's one with Rick kind of crying, something kind of like light flashing in his eyes, and there's old man Rick with Michonne, Judith, and assuming
Oh,
Carl walking by as he talks to him. So is this a premonition of a future Rick?
yeah.
That's dumb. Then you're just trying to trick the viewers. It's not any. We haven't
Too
seen.
impressionistic. It's way
Yeah,
too impressionistic. And like Jay said, if you're gonna have a future Rick, don't give him a limp. Make him so he's not so haggardy. You know, the limp is specific to an event that happens in the future. How can Rick have a premonition of himself having that limp and having Carl in that future premonition? One is something that is going to happen. So he's looking at an injury that's going to happen to himself, but yet he doesn't see his son, who it didn't make any sense. It's tying too many moments together that don't belong now, especially with Carl dying. Like this was not an essential flash forward in that case. It wasn't. Um, so now, if Rick has a limp, it's almost like so he saw himself with a limp, but he didn't see Carl being dead. How is that possible? You know what I'm saying? How
yeah,
can you have a premonition of an injury but not of your son's death? That doesn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like,
Uh,
wouldn't one outweigh the other?
and then they never talked about it again. There's no other flash forwards throughout the season. So it's what was that? It
Yeah,
doesn't make any sense. It'll be like going back to season 6, like with a black and white, previous version and everything. Just have like one random scene of being black and white and being like, wait, the hell was that?
Correct.
And that's it.
Yeah.
You have no explanation. Somehow the walkers got free, and now all of a sudden it's like, wait, they didn't even talk about that. It was just them in the conversation in the, planning room, and you miss everything. That I don't know what they're doing with that. That lost me there too. They could have done something creative with it, where maybe like a couple episodes, something's missing. It's the same scene, but now like a picture's missing off the wall. So
Yep.
it's like it's falling apart.
Yep.
Or one episode it's him walking fine. The next one it's him limping. The next one it's, Michonne has a black eye or something like that. The frames are cracked, and the last one, Carl's not there.
Yeah.
Stuff like that to symbolic of his world falling apart. In the future, it's what he wants, but this is what he's going to end up getting. I don't know. I don't know what the hell they're thinking with it.
No, me neither. Or why not just do it where Rick wakes up in the first episode, and then it goes into the episode, and then for the mid-season finale, Rick is walking down, and Judith meets him, and he talks to Judith a little bit, and then maybe in the finale, him, Michonne, and Judith go to Carl's grave, and then at the very end, like the clip before the scene, it transfers into what that prison cell is, like Rick going from the grave to the prison cell. That would have made even more sense, and it would have kept it simple, and people would have been thrown off. But this is all crazy what they're doing. So it's
or even just like a little line like, "Oh, I wish your brother was here," or "I wish he didn't leave." Because then, if you read the comics, he goes off the hilltop.
Yes.
So like, oh, okay, this is them in the future when he goes to the hilltop. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Not some what is that? I don't know how they're gonna play off of that. They probably made a mistake. And like,
I think so too.
I don't know what to do now.
I think so too. And like I said, another thing that I think they made a mistake with as well, Dwight. I think that they had a perfect moment where Eugene is tape recording him, because he's tape recording himself. I think that would have been a great way to spill the beans that Dwight was a traitor. But instead of just using that, they add the fact that they make him do a lot of stupid stuff and make Laura say, "Hey, look, you're the dissenter because you shot 7 people. Now I see," instead of having him be more incognito, having him be, the mole, and having him be, found out, methodically by Negan and Eugene. You know what I'm saying? That would have been a much better reveal. But they almost like said, we had a great idea to tape record him, and we could have probably build off of that. Let's just throw it out and have him shoot everybody, and have Laura see him shoot everybody, and then run back and tell Negan Dwight's the traitor. That's just to me, that's a drop moment. Like, come on, seriously? Like,
yeah, they could have played off of that, like with Eugene trying to protect him at the same time. He has a tape recorder. Maybe Negan goes over there and presses play, but stops before he hears Dwight talk or something, and just get that tension going. Like, oh, is Eugene going to turn on Dwight, or is Dwight going to kill Eugene? Is Negan going to find out? It's like Company.
Or maybe Eugene, maybe just Negan plays, like Negan just takes it, finds it and plays it and says, "Oh, this guy's smart," and then at the end, he hears the confrontation between Dwight and Eugene and says, "That little son of a bitch." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that would have been great, but of course, nope. They just revealed that he's the traitor, by him killing all the saviors, in front of the one savior he doesn't kill. So it's like, and why didn't she kill Dwight? Why didn't she just kill him? She shot him in the arm and then didn't shoot him again. So, like I said, I like the episode, but we're dissecting it, and the more and more we dissect it, the more and more things you find that you scratch your head with. I still think it's better than season 7. I think this season is heads beyond better than season 7. I hope that the second half is even better. They started off very good. I think they started to taper off toward the end of the first half, but the first half of the first half was excellent. The back end a little bit weak.
They should have stuck with the comics.
They should have.
And we said that. My prediction is that they'd have to, and they've ventured away from them, and That's when they lost us.
Yeah. So so that's that. Got tons of questions, tons of comments that I had. Well, just feedback. So let me read it. Let me read
Sure.
some. The T.W. Brown episode, the best episode for both you and Jay of the season, really showed the differences between the two of you. Different styles make the show fun to watch. T.W. Brown seemed like a genuine person, and that's from my buddy Glenn. He watched. He really enjoyed it. He did pick up an Audible book of T.W. Brown's just from the episode. So hopefully that that helps out T.W. Brown. From my friend Tim, good to see that you guys snagged a zombie celebrity as you promised. As promised, as I already reached out to Jay on Facebook, I will donate $5 toward your charity of choice because you did predict at least one season 1 character would die. The prediction was upheld when Morales died. Now it's 2. So I will match that $5 and we will donate. I will donate $10 to the next charity. So thank you, Tim. And, you can't compete with my zombie skill. I told you that already. Another one. It's great to see that you guys reached your goal of 1,000. I made a donation earlier, and to see that you guys are 104% over your goal is really special. Keep up the good work. As from my friend Maria in Connecticut, just tons and tons of different support messages, just thanking us for the TW Brown show. So again, we're doing this for you guys. Questions that people had was, what's coming up for the break. We did lock in TW Brown for a show in January. It's going to be TW Brown's top 5 zombie movies. I pitched an idea to Jay. If Kelsey's watching, maybe we have a J&J, James and J Dissect with Kelsey Dorn on the show. Try to get the show a little bit earlier because Kelsey goes to sleep at about 6 o'clock at night. So we're trying to get the show as early as possible. And then we're going to do a dissection of the greatest season in Walking Dead history, season 6. Those were my 3 suggestions. I'm sure Jay has other ones too. I'm sure he has a lot of different things that he wants to get done. Maybe some, Walker Stalker things, maybe a Telltale game, maybe some other things that he likes to do. But those are the 3 things that I was asked, and I think that would be great. Just look forward to it. I mean, I'm looking forward to this break more than any other break that we've had, because it's starting to pick up a little bit more and it's getting excited, with the celebrity T.W. Brown coming in, and then just, trying to be creative. And, the big question that we had, a couple big questions. Obviously, how did Carl get bit? Another big question is, did Eugene record Dwight? It was rumors that he recorded him. Yes, in my opinion, he did. Another question was, did Father Gabriel purposely infect himself? I think he did. And then, obviously, a question pertaining to me was, how did you figure out Carl was going to die? So, in the beginning, Jay and I talked about it. They showed a deleted scene, and it was Rick and Carl. And he kept saying, "I love you, son." And, it was really a touching moment. And then after that, in the premiere, they started off with this freaking flashback moment, and Carl was in it, and Another One Bites the Dust came on by Queen. They don't play songs for no reason. And Rick specifically asked Carl about the song, and, Carl, he was very vague. You couldn't see his face. And then the biggest hint to all of this was Carl, he stumbled upon Sadiq, and Sadiq told him that spiel about may your mercy prevail over your wrath. Carl was the only one who heard that at the time. So when they showed Rick, and Jay and I talked about this, and Jay was like, why did Rick have tears in his eyes? Rick recited the line, "My mercy prevailed over my wrath." And nobody else heard that. It's specific to Carl, and they, like Jay said, they made Carl be the moral compass out of nowhere. Oh, you have to have hope. That
It,
just
that didn't seem like his character at all. I mean,
not. It was out of the blue, and the first thing I said to Jay was, "Look out for Carl. I don't think he's gonna make it. Something bad's gonna happen."
he was a
Um,
hardcore warrior back with the governor, just shooting people. And
yeah,
all of a sudden he's like, I'm a good guy now. I
yeah,
did. I don't want to lose my train of thought. I just want to say one really good thing I loved, and this goes back to James liking the kind of dark setting of the episode.
yep,
The shooting of the camera work for Carl, where it's always his bad eye that's shown in light, while his good eye is covered in darkness. I thought that was good. I really like that. The cinematography there,
yes.
some sort of symbolism there. So like I said, there's a lot of good things to this episode. Just because we harp on some of the bad things, it's just that we want perfection,
Yes.
And if we get good, this was good, to a great episode. But at the same time, we see ways that could have been even better. That's all.
Yeah, and not only that, we started this show with the season reviewing the season finale of season 6,
Yeah.
and that was our favorite season, easily our favorite season. And the start of this James and Jay Dissect show was the season 7 premiere. So we didn't get a chance to dissect season 6 the way we wanted to, but we will do a dissection show of season 6. To us, that's perfection. You take away the finale, and not even the finale. You take away the cliffhanger. That is the greatest season of a lot. I mean, I put that against a lot of great shows. That was the strongest season, hands down, of The Walking Dead. So when we're hard on the show the last 2 years or year and a half, and hard on Fear the Walking Dead, is because we're comparing it to the greatness that was season 6. And we've even done dissection shows of the previous seasons. And, our love for season 2 is still can't compare to our love for season 6. But it just shows you that is that's the bar that you set for the show. You should try to top that all the time. Not just accept that your best season. You should try to do better every season after that until you can. And it's been lackluster.
Yeah, they've been stumbling ever since then. But I'm excited to actually go back to season 6. That'll be fun. So
Yeah, man.
That's one of our future episodes. And if you guys just catch them now, we do have a new rig. Luckily, put it together just in time for the old one to fail. So we'll be having some fun some new video games you can actually play and stream at the same time, or some VR going on. I do want to start some sort of drive. Maybe if we can get, we have to do a crazy amount, but if we can get enough money to motivate Kelsey to play a VR horror game, that would be insane.
Done. I'm donating $50. What was the amount? $50? Okay.
It's got to be a lot, though. I mean, maybe we gotta get into thousands somewhere. I mean,
Oh.
she has to mute the commercials for horror movies coming up, so
Whew.
she can't even watch trailers of horror movies. So to actually put a VR headset on her and have her play a video game like that, that is, it has to be
I'm
a lot
donating.
to motivate her.
I'm donating to that, and I will be watching that show if we make it to the donations. So, never say never. We got to our 1,000. Took a little time, but guess what? We're gonna be more interactive with you guys, and we hope you're more interactive with us. That would be a special treat. I love you, Kelsey, but I would love to see you play a VR horror game. That's terrible, Jay.
We should probably just sit down and cry.
Oh no. But that's incredible. I do hope we do get the schedule and we do it earlier and it works out for us, because I really would love to have, 3 of us on a show, get Kelsey's point of view to The Walking Dead as well, because, she's an integral part of the 4 of us watching as well. So that's an exciting idea, and she won't be that scared, talking about it.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So a lot of exciting stuff coming forward.
Yep.
I'll be working during this, holiday break here, getting this new rig up and going, recovering old data, getting, the recording, everything going. Everything's running fine over here. it's so nice to have a good system up. Everything's running. Numbers are good over here on this end. It's just the way things worked out. The one died before I can pull everything off of it. But we'll get to that soon enough before the new year, definitely. We'll definitely have some streams coming up. This Wednesday might be a little tight because I definitely want to start pulling stuff from the old system. But
Yep.
I'll be having something, though, for you guys. Might be on a little bit earlier. But once we probably get a schedule on where Wednesdays are 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that way you guys can watch early enough and we can play and talk early enough as well, so it's not too much hampered in our sleep schedule.
Yeah, there you go. But it's cool. Just another thing. We are on a break. We may not be every week, especially with the holidays coming up. Christmas falling on a Monday. Somebody asked us, are we going to fill every week? Absolutely not. Christmas and New Year's are 2 holidays back to back. So, if you don't see us, it's because we have families and lives. Again, this is our break, but we are going to be, we are going to come with some new stuff. We're going to bring back TW Brown. We're going to pull Kelsey in here. I'm going to try to get as much donations as possible. I might put it on a billboard up here in Albany, just to see if people can donate, because I want to see this, VR thing. I may even, I might, I'll get creative, but we're going to make sure that we get the donations going. But definitely, stick with us through the break. Look forward to, Jay's projects. I'm always excited to see the new stuff that he puts on Echo 5. So let him take it from here, man. It's your show, Jay.
Yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed season 8, or at least the first half of it. A lot of things we've changed to make it a little better, but at the same time, we did enjoy it for the most part. We appreciate, if for some reason, the actors, producers, or anyone part of the show is watching this. Just because we might harp on some of the negatives, we still appreciate all the hard work they put into it and to give us this, product. If we didn't like the product or we didn't like The Walking Dead, we wouldn't be here talking about it in the end.
Trust me, I totally agree. Favorite show of all time. Anybody who's on the show watching or stumbles upon the show, you have to have some sort of criticism. You guys get it way worse than what we give. I think that we're very nice.
We're not The Talking Dead, though, where we are, have to pander to the execs or anything like that. So we'll give you our honest opinions,
Yep.
And honestly, we appreciate yours too. If there's anything we can do to improve the channel, let us know. If there's anything you really like for the channel, let us know. If there's anything you want us to change, different subjects you want us to talk about, maybe zombie books instead, or different video games you want us to play or anything like that, leave a comment. Anything we could do to appease the audience so you guys tune in more often or to gain more numbers. Hey, that's in the benefit of the charities. And once again, all proceeds goes towards charity. So if you guys can't donate, that's okay. What you can do to help us out is just like, subscribe, follow us on all the social medias, the Twitch, the Twitter, the Instagram, the Facebook, especially YouTube. Like, subscribe, thumbs up those videos. That way they'll boost us up into the metrics. The more people that watch it, the more people that click on the ads. And we can't tell you guys to directly click on the ads, but what I can tell you is that all the ad revenue from those videos goes towards charity. So do with that information as you will. And for that, James and Jay will be done with the first half of season 8 with dissecting, and we'll be so follow us on the social medias, like I said, for our updates to our schedule. We'll keep you guys posted there. I'm not going to spam you a bunch of stuff. If you're in Alabama, make sure you get out there tomorrow and vote. Or not the accused pedophile, homophobe, bigot, who wished to abolish all amendments after the 10th one, which would include women's right to vote, blacks' right to vote, end of slavery. So, do with that information as you will, Alabamians.
Oh.
Other than that, stay tuned, follow us, keep informed with all the social medias, and we'll let you guys know when James and Jay will be dissecting the next episode.
Good night, everybody.
See ya.